The ceiling fans? They're very attractive.
Because the following special program, Scarecrow and Mrs. King, will not be presented this evening.
Clickety-click.
Crank up the music. Keep an eye on the back.
This presentation is provided to you to amuse or entertain and not to conform or inform. The content on this channel should not be used to replace professional, financial, medical, or legal advice. All footage taken and used from public sources falls under the Fair Use of the Digital Millennial Copyright Act of 1998. Therefore, no breach of privacy or copyright has been committed. This show is substantially sourced, not affiliated with any community, club, fraternity, or gang. Your cat may vary.
I say, moo.
I was going to have surgery, and I asked my surgeon, can I administer my own anesthetic? And he said, sure, knock yourself out.
tracking continues.
Wow. Wow. Hey, everybody. It's Friday night. Whoop, whoop. You've made it on the correct side of the topsoil yet again. Another week has gone by. They seem like they go faster and faster as the sun revolves around us. So if you've done nothing else last week, you've at least accomplished that. So congratulations. If you can reach, pat yourself on the back. It's wonderful to be here again with you tonight, and looking forward to having some fun with you all and some camaraderie and all that other stuff. So, anyways, let's get this show on the road, as they say. And who's they? Let's see, where are we at? It's one of these buttons. Okay, there it is.
Clickety click.
Hey, everybody. Good to be seen by you all. Once again, it's another Friday night. Whoop, whoop. We made it again. And we already said all that. And yeah, people forgot about this.
Because the following special programs.
The Crow, Mrs. King. I don't even know. Did anybody watch that? Jeannie, I don't know. Did you watch that? I know of it. I just never watched it. So I think it was more of a woman's show. If that's kind of sexist, sorry, but that's just how. No, she never watched it either. So we got the ruling. The Jeannie didn't watch it, and neither did I. So
that's very true.
But it looks like Jenny, Susie, little season, she did. So there, we had a few people, but you're not going to see it tonight. So just so you know. Your mom loved Bruce Boxleiter. That's funny. I didn't even remember that was his name. That's funny. At least to me it is. So what are we going to do? So tonight, I just was, sometimes it's really hard to I know that some content creators are on all the time. I don't know how they do it. Just putting together a 1 week show or one day a week show is plenty for me. I have all the other stuff to do, and then trying to get all this scheduled in. It's anyways. So I was trying to think, what am I going to talk about? Because I've been doing the live stream for I don't know, 7 years or something. But 10 years complete, I think, on YouTube on and off. And so I've seen them come and I've seen them go. And all I know is I'm still here. And I know why I'm here.
I got nowhere else to go. I got nowhere else to go.
So, and I love my drops, and everyone else, well, you love them too, right? And when I say everyone, you know I mean everyone. There we go. Okay, but so yeah, I'm going to. I thought, what am I going to talk about tonight? So I picked some different subjects, and of course, we have the regular news of the world we'll catch up on, and then the whole idea of this came to me. Because you saw the thumbnail. I'll take myself out for a second. Right? And I defy anybody that read that to not sing it when they read it, right? It's like one of those earworms. It's all been a pack of lies. And my wife even came up to me and said, yeah, I saw your thumbnail, and she did the same thing. She sang it. So yeah, it's those earworms. Like the Nutella one apparently gets a lot of people. So we'll do our best not to do that tonight. Oh, thank you. That's really sweet. Thank you. I appreciate you. But yeah, let's do this, right? And Stevie says I have the best drops. So that's fantastic. What do we have? But it's not just they're good drops. We also are learning. How about that? Okay, what is this? I thought a live stream was when I peed on. Okay, all right. I see what you said there. Well, it's kind of like junior high humor, but you can get one of these. Before I put it up. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, so here we are, and you're already calling for the what is that girl? And there's people that might not even been here that week when I started with what is that girl? And I think I'm the only person on social media that keeps that one going. I don't know. It's hard for me. I like to, what is it? Beat a horse? No, that's a terrible phrase. Beating a dead horse. What does that even mean? You gotta look. You ever look those up and see where they start? They're really bizarre. But here, let's do this. For those people that aren't quite even sure what we were kind of talking about, it's this gal. And there was that bang bang at the White House not too long ago, apparently, supposedly. And she acted like she didn't know what was going on. Meanwhile, they have these other two reporters, and they did what you should do. They duck and cover. But he does this weird James Bond move with his tie, though I thought was really funny. Then he ducks. And she just keeps saying, "What is that?" Has no idea.
What is that?
So somebody on the internet did something that was so useful for someone like me. They isolated her with a green screen, and they took out the noise of the shooting, and then you just get, you can put her in just about anything, as I have done many times. And where are we at? Let's see. Let me grab one of them. So this is her. I think I'm going to retire this one. This was the one from last week, but we'll play it one last time tonight, give you an idea.
Michelle Obama is a man.
What is that? What is that?
Satellite tracking continues.
So maybe I'll put that up on my channel if somebody wants on their own, but I'll stop it on the streams. But so that's it. I just kind of stick her in all kinds of scenarios. I want to also touch real fast on the thank you again. I posted them as we were going through the chat in the beginning. God bless you, crispy chickens. That's one that always makes everyone in the chat hungry. And thank you so much. God bless you, Hunt and Cover. I did pull the chain and we got that going. And then this one, Zach is super sticker because my machine's old and that's as best I can do. So thank you for whatever that was too. God bless you. And what is this? And you became a YouTube member. Fantastic. That's wonderful. So thank you. And then I also saw another new member too. And what is this? It's good when I say whoop whoop. Thank you, Matt Paximus. You're always playing the air guitar, I noticed in the opening, so that's really cool. Oh, you don't want it retired? Okay, I won't retire. I just got to move things around. That's all. What is this about? It's about, I don't know, all kinds of stuff. So the first thing I'll say is that you'll see I've got, here, I'll screen share. And since they fixed my internet, this is working great now. I've got all these tabs up here that we'll talk about, like stuff in the news. There's some space ones, and then some ones that basically talk about some of the lies of the world. And we'll go from there and hopefully just have some fun along the way. And it's sort of, I don't know. It's like, I feel like when I was envisioning when I was going to do this, I used to love watching the old David Letterman show. And so he had some interviews, he had some interesting things, and then he had some goofy stuff, throwing things off the roof and stuff. So it's pretty much that. So, okay. And then we'll do one more drop, and then I'll start the show because, Jenny is invoking Valhalla. Now, this gal actually works very well with Valhalla. So I like that one. We might keep her in there. We'll see.
Lastly, to my friend Charlie Kirk.
What is that?
Rest now, brother. We have the watch, and I'll see you in Valhalla.
What is that?
Satellite tracking continues.
Okay. And you know what? And Trish, bless me, she gifted me a shofar, and I've blown it on the show before, and people get irritated sometimes. That wasn't me doing that one. That was I found on the internet. But in any case, I don't want to hear any more complaints. Look at this story. You think this is bad that I'll blow this like once in a while and your dogs will like hate it. My dog will hate it too. And but look what happened here. Look at this. A rabbi returned he was on a flight. A special rabbi stood up many times in the middle of a flight in the US and started blasting the shofar through the cabin, and you had nowhere to go. And and he's actually not that good, honestly. I think I can do that. Can you imagine on your flight? All William Shatner had to deal with it was a creature outside on the wing. Can you imagine that? There's something on the wing. I mean, you only had to sit through 30 seconds of it. Oh, I got to work on that. Okay. So there. So that's the shofar part of the show. I throw that in there because then maybe the people that run things, you know, they know I'm okay to keep on the air. Okay, so let's see. Where were we? We got to get rid of this. And let's go over here. Okay. So another thing I like to do is start the show off with hopefully we'll get it's in the neck. Yeah, you gotta be kidding me. Oh geez. Oh, you guys are something else. So yeah. Reveille. Toot. Anyways, okay. Yeah, that's Rabbi Valhalla. Okay. Let's see. Let's go into the screen shares here. Let's get some of these tabs. So okay, here you go. So the first thing I like sometimes show things that make me just crack up because we have dogs that I would say two of them really don't fight too much about, you know, we bathe them occasionally, whatever. But there's one that, I mean, you need like an army of people and one of those things that they put, what's his name? Anthony Hopkins in Silence of the Lambs. You need one of those kind of cages or something. Not that she'd bite you, but she's just petrified of it. So in any case, that's why this video kind of made me laugh.
You have the dogs that love the water. And then you have the dogs that hate the water.
Is that fantastic?
You have the dogs that love the water. And then you have the dogs that hate the water.
So, anyways, I thought that was pretty good. Let's see. And this story, I had to double check and triple check because this did not sound real. So this gal, I don't know if she's doing it for content or she's a dare or she's just a party girl, but she's 32. Surprised she wasn't 33. And she walked into a Costco and she was dressed enough to the colors to fool everyone with black pants, a red polo shirt, and a fake name badge that read Crystal Beverage Team. Okay. She stationed herself near the frozen food section and began offering customers tiny cups of tequila as free product samples. They said it escalated quickly. She had a miniature ketchup cups that are, you know, used for condiments or whatever, obviously, the condiment ketchup. But she allegedly poured the tequila shots for shoppers while pairing them with a frozen appetizer and snack food. Witnesses said she confidently said that Costco is testing a new customer experience initiative, and it's part of the weekend tasting event. And everyone thought she was legitimate. She was so confident, no one questioned it, said one customer. She kept talking about the flavor profiles like she actually worked there. They became increasingly theatrical as the crowd, she became increasingly theatrical as the crowd grew. Witnesses described her leading chants of weekend mode activated. Is this nuts? Weekend mode activate. Wonder Twin powers. Okay, so the customers laughed, cheered, and continued lining up for more samples. She's getting them toasted, Jeannie. Wasted. Oh my gosh. At one point, shoppers were allegedly dancing near the mattress displays while holding cups filled with liquor. Employees reportedly became suspicious after noticing an unusually large crowd gathering around the snack aisle and customers behaving noticeably louder than normal. The managers approached her after hearing her pitch called the Bottomless Sample Friday. And then they came to an end when the store management contacted the police. Wah, wah. And they said she continued attempting to rally customers even as she was being escorted from the building, shouting, "Who's ready for round 2?" She was arrested on charges related to impersonation, disorderly conduct, and unauthorized distribution of alcohol. So no injuries reported, and they shut it down for a while. And anyway, so isn't that fantastic? Oh my God, I'm crying. This is a fantastic story. So yeah, she's cute too. That's why she can get away with it, I guess. So that is just too much. And I had to double check and triple check that is actually a real story. So that's so funny. Yeah, you're right. Maybe Costco has an amazing marketing strategy and they were behind the whole thing. That could very well be. That's funny. But then you got this thing. I had forgotten about this, so I pulled it out just to make sure we discussed it really fast. But this was in March, and it said BlackRock's $26 billion private credit fund limits how much investors can pull out, capping withdrawals at 5%, even if investors ask for 9.3. So it's just letting you know that look, we know the times that we're in. At least I feel that there's certain times that we're in. And so things have got to escalate most likely, and they've got to tighten the noose. And you boil the frog just a little at a like he's doing, a little at a time. And so these are just the steps that they show that what is that Klaus Schwab guy says you own nothing and you're happy, And so they're making it housing market it's insane right now. So everyone's renting, you don't own that, And even if you own your house, the taxes keep going higher and higher that people are getting taxed right out of their homes. So, you own nothing because if you stop paying it, they take it away. If you do something wrong that they deem in your car or you don't have insurance, they'll take that away. The mob went from being underground with like drug or liquor runs or whatever they did to being in insurance. Like you have to have insurance. You have to have health insurance. You have to have home insurance. You can't own a home if you don't have it. You have to have it for your car. You can't drive. So all these forced insurance things that they're throwing on us. And now I just saw a thing. They this has just happened, Jeannie, at least that I saw. If you bought movies through I should look it up. I think it was Amazon. And they've lost the licensing to this like company, then the downloaded movie that you paid for, you can't watch anymore. It's the same thing with what do you call it? PlayStation games and stuff. They're all online unless you pay into the memberships or subscriptions, and you don't get to play those. And so so you could like own a movie and then they like take it away and not allow it to be played. Yeah. So I thought that was interesting that everything is turning in. Music is all online now, right? It's the same thing. Nobody really works with VHS or DVDs or any of that stuff anymore. So, okay, let's move on from this. Enough of that. And this one I thought was interesting because one of the things that my wife and I like to do, we like to tune out to the fake news of the real world and watch the fake world of mostly British mysteries. And so I don't know how we missed this one, but for anybody that's interested in this stuff, this thing called Foyle's War, it was so good. We enjoyed it, and it had a pretty great ending too, I guess. And but there was a scene in this because this is all set right around World War II, right at I think like 44, 45, whatever. And then right after during this, there was one of the episodes where everyone was walking around with these yellow boxes, even the men. And I was like, what is that? So I looked into it. And apparently during those times, now it's kind of like what they do now. It's an executive order. So it's an order, but, it's a suggestion. But in any case, they ordered the people around there, that they all had to carry these gas masks. They're masks that you put on your face in case of chemical warfare. And so isn't that interesting? So like it's written in the Bible, there's nothing new under the sun, or now it says no new thing. In any case, everything just repeats itself. And so doesn't that sound familiar? The government was forcing people to walk around with masks. I just thought that was pretty interesting, just to see the repeat and repeat. Okay, next. This one, and I'd like to say, dear Lord, please watch over anyone that has been affected by these horrible earthquakes, and send your comforter and your healing, and give them peace, and take care of them in Jesus' name. Amen. Because there's been 6 powerful earthquakes in less than 24 hours. And I mean, we're talking huge, like 6.9. It's huge. In Venezuela, apparently what I heard in Venezuela, there could be up to 10,000 people missing. I don't know how they do their count, but some large buildings and stuff fell down. So yeah, God help all these people. And but just interesting, they're talking about, do they have these weapons to be able to create these situations? And where is it? I think I had let's see, is it on here? Let me bring this out. I have that video. Oh no, I know one of the things I have is this. I shouldn't have stopped screen sharing. Clickety click. Of course, there's an Illuminati card, right? Of course, because they have to tell you in advance, right? And now people are noticing the wavelengths of the clouds and how they're all being affected by some type of like harmonics or whatever you want to call it. And people are seeing it in water now too. I know we've seen it before, but more and more people are now recognizing the same kind of rippling things happening in water. So potentially whatever the machinery they have. And again, it's no longer conspiracy theory. When they blew up those radar things or whatever during this quote war, or whatever you want to call it, suddenly all this water flowed in to these areas that were desert forever. So I don't know, there's something about these things that they try to make it so it still sounds conspiracy theorist craziness, but there's so much evidence. Go look at the people that got sick and died that they said there was some kind of sonic weapon that they used them in the embassy and stuff. So the stuff works, and they admit they have it, but then they make you sound like you're on the fringe if you talk about these things, and yet they put it right out there. So this Illuminati card didn't predict the future. They just told you what they have, and then they used it on us. That's the way I see it. So, but what do I know? Just some guy on YouTube. I know what I do have to say. This next news story, and I do have more than one fans from all over, and thank you for that. Oh, I do want to mention to everyone, thank you for my this show runs on donations, and all those donations earlier, and then my Patreons, my members. I thank you, all of that. It's very helpful, and thank you so much. And in addition to that, if you're just a viewer, that's wonderful that you're here. If you like what you saw, hit that like button, share, subscribe. Those things all help the channel too. And yeah. And what else? I think that was everything. And then there's links in the descriptions and stuff that if you want to donate there too. So, but I have fans from all over the planet, the world, whatever you want to call it. My dad said when he was alive, he said that it was like the new ham radio. And so I have multiple people now from Australia.
Crikey! It's news for Australians, mate. Good day. Here's your news, straight from Australia. We once were a prison colony, and now we done separated into many colonies. I've lost my accent. Crikey! Those look mountainous. Oh. Wow! You'll have to learn not only to drive on the wrong side of the road, but upside down. Bonza!
Okay. News from Australia. So for my Australian friends, I don't know if you're in the chat tonight, I can read it later, but send me an email or something. Let me know what is going on over there. This person, tell me if hopefully, I don't know if I'm getting, punked or whatever. This person said this is real. In Australia, there are regular incidences in the outback like this. Never drive the outback without an escape plan. Now, first of all, we have to acknowledge that there's 3.3 million views. So we got that going for us. But, we talk all the time about everything Australia's there to kill you, the bugs, the spiders, the snakes and stuff. Now look what's going on the road. And how long is this on, Australian people? The creepy music doesn't help. And I don't know about you, but I wanted them to drive away much faster than they did. So I don't know. So yeah, we'll have to look into that. I'll let you know if I hear from my Australian friends of what's going on there. But if you are out there, be careful. Don't drive that road, whatever this is. So, all right. Next. Now, after I looked into this, I found out this has actually now been done twice. The first time was Mel Brooks' silent what is it called? Silent movie. He had the entire movie and there was no dialogue whatsoever. And then this came out, and I just kept thinking Idiocracy, because they have that scene in Idiocracy where there's that guy's butt on the screen, and they're like, the movies now just became that for like an hour or two, and it won Best Picture and stuff. Well, and then I saw this movie come out with, I think it's with Reacher, and there's no words, there's no dialogue. It's an action movie. There's no dialogue in it. And I thought the comments, I love the comments. One was like, did they know when they were shooting it, or did they change it later after they shot it? He's really, I enjoy watching him and stuff, but he's not known for his dialogue. Kind of like Rambo, Rambo was great until he had the speech at the end that no one could understand, And but then I found out, I didn't know this. This has already been done by, it's called Silent Night. So even on movies that they don't have any dialogue, nothing new under the sun. This is like the third time now. So just thought that was interesting. And what did I just see in the chat? Is that true? Where are we going here? Is that true? Did he die? I didn't know that. Let me look. Or his character, Mel Brooks. Did he die? Or his character? No, it says he's still alive. He's 99. He turns 100 soon. Yeah, no, he's still around. Steve, you got bad information. Let's kill that off the screen. But are you saying at age 100? He is 100. Let's see. June 26th. So this article here, I'll show you. This article just came out. Clickety click. Yeah. Happy birthday, 2,000-year-old man turning 100. And so, no, I don't want to sign up. On Sunday, he turns 100. So, yeah. Not wild. And they just made a third, a sequel to that, Space Wars or whatever. So, I don't know. It'll probably be garbage. In any case, still alive for now. So, all right. What's that? Well, no, what he is, he's not dead. I didn't mean anything nefarious by that. So, okay. Let's see. Where are we at here? Let's go back into the screen share. Clickety click. I don't know if you're old enough. I like to post these kind of things. Anybody remember this growing up? Nothing like filling up a bowl of Apple Jacks, wondering if this is the day that you'll disappear too. Remember that? We had nothing to read. There was no internet or anything. We drew. Ginny, you're right, Ginny. We grew up traumatized. You're next. Is this going to be your face on there? Is your friend going to be on there? Okay. Oh, and Smk, it's good to see you too. And David, yes, David, you're super tardy. Does that mean you get a uniform with that? Super tardy? Now, I think Daryl Davis owns the super tardy. But you are definitely tardy.
I don't feel tardy. I don't feel tardy.
So, yeah, you remember that too? Yeah, they traumatized us, didn't they? See? It's nuts. So, and I played last week, all the things about where they say it's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are? So they were trying to get us there too. It probably was an effective one. Oh, I like this one, Ginny. Did you see this? Pasteurize and traumatize. Pasteurize and traumatize. Pork chops and applesauce. Let's see. Where's the other one? I just saw one. Oh, I missed it. They're going so fast. But it was have a bowl along with some PTSD too. So, okay, let's see. Where are we at? Let's scroll down here. Oh, yeah, here we go. Breakfast of Champions with a good old bowl of PTSD. All right. Well, moving on down. Okay. Where were we? Oh, we were on the milk thing. Let's go back up there and see what we got going here. Clickety click. We'll go here. And there. Okay. Yes. Yes, my son actually goes to a local farm and gets us raw milk. But remember, follow all the CDC guidelines and your doctor's advice and all that, because I'm experimenting on my family. So, but anyways. All right, next. On this one, the reason I want to bring this one up is it goes along with that whole thing about no accountability. So this is a woman that's an Amazon driver. And rather than pulling up the driveway, she's, I guess, part of that. The quickest way to between 2 points is a straight line. And so rather than going this way and having to walk around, she's just going to pull right up front on the lawn. But the reason I'm even bringing this up is there's a thing in the Ford cars now they call Blue Cruise. And just like Michael Scott in The Office, she's blaming the automatic Blue Cruise and said she didn't drive the car drove itself. But I know you can hit a brake and stop this if that's the case. I just can't get over the grooves that are being put into this lawn. Oh, Eric, you're saying she tore up the yard? But wait, there's more. She's just getting started tearing up this lawn. Are you kidding me? I mean, she's making crop circles at this point. They're here. What did they say in that movie? Swing Away? Wasn't that Jeannie? That horrible alien movie with Mel Gibson? Swing Away. Yeah, I think so. I think it was Swing Away. Is it Owen? Whoever the kid's name was. Some in the chat might know who we're talking about. But yeah, look at that. Isn't that something? So yeah. So she's not responsible. The car did it. I mean, this goes all the way back to the original sin, right? Eve eats the apple and tells Adam, and he eats it because, like I talked about before, that I think I still have that picture. It's here. Let's see. I can find it. It is this one, and it's here. Let's see. Is it in this? Yeah. There you go. Study finds that 100% of men will eat any fruit given to them by a naked woman. But in this story, when God says, Adam, hey, why'd you eat that? I told you not to. He goes, well, she made me do it. And then he goes, well, how come you did it and had him do it? And she's like, well, the snake made me do it. So, like, we've never taken responsibility for our own actions. And, you know, it's still happening to this day. So, anyways, that was a long way to go to that joke. Let's get rid of that. Oh, you liked it? Oh, thank you, honey. All right. Let's see. Where should we go next? All right. Okay, clickety click. I'm about to sneeze too, but I'm going to try not to. All right. So let's see. We covered that. And I had to look this one up too, hon. You won't believe this one. I thought this was complete AI nonsense. But there's actually, it's I think it's in Finland, if I have that right, where they have a the wife carrying world championships. Have you heard of this one? Men sprint through courses of mud, water, hurdles, all carrying their wife on their back.
Ja sieltä lähdetään ja Hyvinkään parit aivan rintarinnan, mutta numerolla 10. Seppo Somerharju tulee ensimmäisenä vesirauta. Aika hyvin loimenee, hyvin puoleen.
And I thought of putting this together and adding like a voice of some wife like complaining, but I just couldn't. It's enough as it is. It depends how fast they can get through the water. You're right. They could kill her. Oh, God.
Se vetäisi kyllä Seppo tuolla itsensä ja tulee kauhomalla tuon loppuosan. Hyvin pysyy mukana kukaan. On kannettu, mutta ei ole kuule Tuomas kaukana. Hyvin lähellä, mutta pikkusen tuolla pikemmillä.
I played a lot of crazy things on this show, but this is definitely one of the craziest I've ever seen.
Seppo ottaa tuolta, mutta he takaisin tänne kohdaan. Erolla katsotaan tulee kaarteen. Nyt huippua aikaistava homma. Kestää loppuaika, Seppo vetää tuossa erittäin hyvin. Ja ensimmäinen kuulaistelee aikaa menossa.
They're gonna do hurdles.
35 sekuntia nyt vedetään
Jos
tuo menee loikkaamalla yli, niin kyllä se on semmoinen peli, että siitä hommat toimii äärettömän hyvin. Kyllä, ja kärkiaikaa tavoitellaan 50 sekuntia venymässä tässä vaiheessa. Kakkosajan tulevalla sieltä aivan. Sehän menee vieläkin kun
Oh, I guess they won. So there you go. Yeah, there's a lot of trust involved in that. Exactly. Yes. Eventually you just got here. Yeah. And they're like, what's going on? Well, it's the wife carrying world championships. So got that going for us. All right. What do I have? Let's see. Let me go over to. All right. No, not that. What do we have? Well, let's keep going then. We'll get to that one in a minute. Doesn't quite connect to this. All right. So go here, here, and here. Yeah, I don't trust myself enough to do those. Even if I was, in my, prime years shape, I don't think I would do that. Bang her head on the pole or damn near waterboard your wife. All right. The reality that we live in, it writes its own comedy. So out here in Seattle, of course, we definitely have to make sure we virtue signal and have pride this and pride that. And okay. So they decided to have a Pride Day for the World Cup when it's here. But the day that they chose, it turns out now the organization that does the World Cup like randomly supposedly does this. But the day that they chose for this Unity Day is Egypt versus Iran. Two countries that they say will throw you off a roof for being gay. And so when worlds collide, so now you've got this it's not, I don't know what's going to happen, because they said that both the teams said that if they see anything that deals with this, they're going to walk out. So it should get interesting. I think this is what's that? I'm not sure. We'd have to look it up. Let's see. I can find out. Okay, let's see. What are we doing? Let's see. Pride Night Seattle World Cup. And when is it? Doesn't say. Well, you asked for it. You got it. Toyota. Pride match today. Yeah, it's not showing it. Fine. My chat's already said it. I don't know. Maybe somebody will find it. Any case, so we'll move on. It's enough of that. Let's go here. Clickety click. All right, so we covered that. And then here's something. See, in the times that we find ourselves in, the truth is unveiled and all that. Everything's coming out. God says that everything that's in darkness will come to light. And so we've discussed this many times, that there are body doubles and whatever throughout political figures and famous people. And here, this one, and I looked this up, and even AI Grok couldn't figure this out. But so here's the FIFA FOFUM President Gianni Infantino. Is that really his name? Okay, little baby. It was pictured at both Group E games. They kicked off at the same time. The images in the stadium are 10 minutes apart, but they're hours apart. And yet he was at both games at the same time. So, how do you do it? Body double? Clone? Fallen angel? What is he? Little Johnny? Is that what the name is? Little Johnny? That's funny. So, yeah. So, there we are. And this one, first of all, I have to admit, it took me a moment to understand the joke. But if you understand the joke, it's fantastic. So you got Ed Norton and Brad Pitt, right? And the caption is, Edward Norton is talking to himself at the USA Turkey game. So to anybody that's having trouble with that, are you here, Rose? I had trouble with it too. There's a movie called Fight Club. And if you know the movie, then it makes sense. And if you don't know the movie, I don't know. You can go watch it. I don't want to ruin it here, but it's been out for like 30 years. Yeah. But in any case, so there you go. Isn't that funny? So, was Ed Norton in The Honeymooners? Yes, he was. See, Fallen Angel. A different one, I think. You know, they said that this movie actually didn't do well in the theaters. It lost money. And I feel that maybe the reason is because the first rule of Fight Club is you can't talk about Fight Club. You like it? See? So that way they didn't get a lot of people going to the movie. There was no buzz. Anyways. So yeah, so that's enough of that. Oh, here we go. So here's the deal. The WNBA, nobody watches. Let's be real. There's no fan base to it. And so all of a sudden on my feed all over the place, I'm seeing the WNBA fights. I guess they're getting into full-on fights and brawls on the thing, shoving and pushing people down, you know, and barreling over. I mean, look at that. I mean, I'm not laughing. Yeah, she can get into some serious hurt there. But Then again, I've watched wrestling, and it sure looks like they're getting hurt with that chair over their head, but they're fine. So why am I bringing those two stories together in my mind? Because this happened, it like escalated to this moment to where, and this is there's only like 3 names that people know. I think one of them is Caitlin is the one on the ground, and I can't think of the other 2, whatever. But this guy, I mean, this gal takes and puts her hand on her neck, doing a whole "I can't breathe" moment, right? I mean, talk about flagrant. Now, if she'd actually done some major pressure and damage, I mean, she could kill someone or at least really hurt her there, right? I saw Clint Eastwood's movie with the boxer. So you could do some damage there. But, or this is very well staged because nobody talks about the WNBA. And now everyone's talking about the WNBA. I know, but that's what this show is here for. You know, and I'm not the first person that has ever said no one watches WNBA. I mean, Family Guy called it out in perfection.
But is having this minor skill worth being so unattractive? That's for the fan to decide. Yay!
That clip lives in my head rent free. I think about that all the time. That's for the fan to decide. Yay! So, yeah. And so then, of course, it doesn't stop there. Oh, you like that, the fan? Here, one more.
But is having this minor skill worth being so unattractive? That's for the fan to decide. Yay!
Who does? Kim. Yeah, that's what we were discussing. I agree. Yes, I agree. That's what I was saying. I think, yes, like roller derby. Oh my gosh. Amelia, remember roller derby? I was a kid and I didn't even understand what's going on there. But basically, you had women in scantily clad outfits. I think I covered it on the show. And they would skate around. And there was one person that had the ball or whatever it was, the stick, the wand. And the other people had to try to like stop her from going all the way around so many times, or to maybe knock it out of her hand or whatever. And so they also had the people that were there to just like bash into you. And so, yeah, so that was that was back then in those days. But yeah, so it's like, I think they were just doing it to stir up some controversy so people would like check out the WNBA again. Yeah, it was ruthless. Yes. The bruisers, that's what they were. The bruisers. They were there just to basically give you bruises. So oh, well, look at Hunt and Cover fell in love with a Derby Queen. Now, there's a story. And what else we got? You were in it. Oh wow. I bet you had stories too. So but yeah. In any case, so yeah, so that was roller derby. But going back to this, I won't mess with Amelia, I promise. Were you a bruiser, Amelia? We have to find out. So, okay. But yeah, so this happened. And then, of course, out of this came another just wonderful thing. I'm not quite sure how to use this one yet. But this gal, she called out one of the players. She got a fine for this. And all she did was just point and mug. Mean mug or whatever they call it. Here, I'll make it large so you can see it. So now the internet's using this for everything. It's like the one I have. Let's see, what is it? It says, seeing my wife's boobs for the 53,685th time. Like that? Yeah. Because it's always awesome. Okay, I'll divulge a little story here. This is a ceiling fan man tip for women. When you're shopping, let's say, because a lot of people shop Amazon, it's really hard not to for certain things. We have like really no clothing stores out where I live, and so my wife was shopping for a bra, and she found one because the color was something that people don't like for some reason. It was like $50 less. It was like just basically they were giving it away, and they fit great, and she loves them. And so look for the colors when you're looking at stuff. And you can save a lot of money no matter what it is. If you don't mind whatever color the toaster is, then you're going to save money. So just so you know, there's a little tip from Ceiling Fan Man. So, but then of course she says, "What do you think?" And I made that face and pointed when she showed me the new bra. So I think she walked out of the room. Let's go move on. Next. And now, in the news story, so you got Trump, and he's now, first he was fighting with Elon, and then they made up. And in this new season, he started fighting with Netanyahu. And so now Israel is coming out and saying that the reason Trump's changing his tune like he is that the Iranians are using a low-frequency electromagnetic weapon to influence Trump's decisions. And they've implanted these waves into his brain. And so, oh, I guess he says the same thing in another language. So there. So see, they are affecting us with waves, radio frequencies, right? Okay, what's next? And then you got, we're supposed to believe that the people in the Bible are the same people that are running this place, that country now. And I've said this many times, other people have too, but I'm telling you again, when God talks about the children of Israel, Israel was not a country. He was talking about the children of Jacob, whose name came and changed to Israel. And they had the 12 tribes, and we went on from there. And so when you look through the stories, even the children of Israel, they got in and out of favor with God throughout the whole Bible, because they would forget, they would forsake him, they would pray to other gods, and they'd walk away from him. And so the thing is when they talk about Israel, it's not the special children of the Bible anymore. It's when Jesus showed up, we all became equal. He was the great equalizer on that, because the people that were the special children already should have known better. And so Jesus came for everybody else that, wasn't being told and taught these things. And so now that's one of the reasons that some special people don't like this idea of Jesus and everyone being equal, because they've lost their specialness. But it talks about in the Bible, in Revelation, there'll be a time when there'll be people that say they're special and they're not. And you'll know them because this is not the Star of David. It's the Star of Remphan. And you can look all this up. But if that's not enough, how about from his own words?
Lessons of History, very brief, 100-page book, in which he said, well, history proves that, unfortunately and unhappily, Jesus Christ has no advantage over Genghis Khan. Because if you are strong enough, ruthless enough, powerful enough, evil will overcome good.
So I'm supposed to get behind this? No, thank you. No, you're playing for the wrong team at this point. If you think that evil can overcome good, then it's obvious you're not reading the Bible, even though the beginning of the Bible is the Torah. And then they go off script and they go into the Talmud and stuff. It's not inspired by God's writings. No, but they have to keep you trapped in their little scenario. But the fact that he's saying that there's no advantage between Genghis Khan, no, not doing it, not seeing it. He's not who he says he is, just like was predicted in the Bible all those years ago. So what's next? Because the difference is I'm married to a lovely wife. I'm not married to the gal that believes in the system.
Yes, I believe in our judicial system.
Thank God, Erica Kirk. It's not my wife. Okay, what's next? Let's move over here. We got a few more of those tabs and we'll clear those out. What do we got next? And then, of course, you can't have Trump news without seeing Trump somewhere. So this was an interesting one, he said. He said, the communists are finally making their move. I've been waiting, preparing for this for a long time. It sounds like a Phil Collins song. It's easy to be a communist. All you have to do is say, I'll give you everything. But that means you're taking away from others that have earned it. Over thousands of years, that ideology has not worked once. The game is on. Enjoy watching. What is that? What does he say? Excuse me. I know the Q people are loving that. But what is he saying? What game? They straight up tell you that they're actors and this is a stage and they're going to present these different scenarios to you and see which one you like better. You know, do you like this season or do you like last season? The special guest stars and all that stuff. So as of tonight, he's talking about going back to war with Iran. So you watch the stock market go up, down. But yeah. So there's that. But have no fear. He's continuing his thing where he's putting his name and picture on everything. This is the new passports. It says, welcome, but be good. You like that? And this isn't a joke. He's doing this. So, and he's doing it for the 250th anniversary of America. But if you've, let's see, what is this? But if you've been with this show or other shows enough, you realize what the actual celebration is, not to be a spoiler. But just know that these things, just like all the Halloween things and stuff, they all are pagans things that we're still celebrating to this day. And when it comes to the 4th of July, it's the same thing. We've got, this guy says it better here.
Called the Statue of Liberty. It's holding the torch of illumination, which is the Promethean torch of Freemasonry. And if you go to the Statue of Liberty, you'll see a bronze plaque inside saying that this was given to the government of America by the French Grand Orient Temple Masons.
Hang on a second. We have, yeah, we got I was going to hit here. We got breaking news with Ceiling Fan Man. Take it away. There is it. Let's see. Big screen. How do we get up there? There we go. Look, it's Sarah. If you're there, Ryan. Hey, everybody. Hi, Sarah. Get them all. Wait, look right here and get them all. She's got her class out tonight. She's like, I want out of here. Are you feisty tonight? Are you a feisty little girl? All right, go. All right. I got hair in my face. Okay. Where were we? We were doing this.
And it is a symbol of Grand Orient Freemasonry in America, the holder of the light. And that's exactly the same torch that is carried during the Olympics. It is the torch of Prometheus.
It's not the torch of freedom.
No, it's not the torch of freedom.
Of the Illuminati.
Illumination. To add also that on the back of the Liberty dime, on the back of the old dime in America, there was the fasci, which you look in the encyclopedia or dictionary, you look up the word fascism, you'll see that the symbol for world fascism was a bundle of sticks, a bundle of rods with a hatchet head. That was on the back of the
Well, you see that
dime.
on each side of the speaker's podium at Congress.
Oh, absolutely.
So they have the fasci on each side.
Absolutely, and it's also the symbol for the United States Senate is the fasci. But the point I want to make is that was on the old dime. Now on the new dimes, you will see it has been transplanted a torch instead of the old fasci, because fascism was used at one time to prepare the world for the new world order. Now the new world order is in place. That's why on the dollar bill it says Novus Ordo Seclorum is new order of the world.
Right? And all that's provable true. I mean, you can look it all up. It's so wild. And I guess I have to, where are we at here? You're tardy. Oh, wrong button. You get this one.
I don't feel dirty. I don't feel dirty.
So there you go. Don't put me on blast. That's exactly what happens when you say stuff like that. It's too funny. So, and Sarah said hi to everybody. Everyone's saying hi to Sarah. Sarah, they don't look too enthused. She's already outside. She's out of here. Well, that's funny. A birdhouse is saying hi to Sarah. Yeah, our black cat's the best. They are. So that was not Alex Jones, but interesting you say that. We have Alex Jones on. I'll show you here. Let's see. Oh, you like my breaking news? Thank you. All right, let's keep going down. Yeah, that was Bill Cooper. Yeah. Okay. All right, let's scroll all the way down. Man, you guys are talking a lot. Okay. Are we doomed? 16 officer, Jeannie. Okay. Let's see. We got that. Oh, yeah, the very next tab. Check this out. So this is interesting. I actually find this really kind of annoying because there's this thing that happened with the files, Epstein, all that stuff. And Trump's like, are we still talking about this? And so basically we stopped talking about it as a country, and other countries still talk about it. But we know the people that are in charge are the ones that are all involved in it. Oh, it's not Bill Cooper. Okay. But the people that are involved in it are the ones that we would have to go to say, hey, you need to shut this down. So what I find really irritating is there's this guy, he's over, I believe, in Florida. And they talk about on blast. They put this guy on blast because they found him sitting at a restaurant, and he looks just like the other dude. They call him Palm Beach Pete. Okay. And so what I'm finding is this was on Alex Jones, and he had the guy on because they're showing these pictures. They have the same arm tattoo. But apparently that's not true. It's been added AI, and because they were comparing his teeth. Yeah, I can't believe anything. And when you go forward, he has him on the show, and where is it? He shows his arms, and there's no tattoo. But talk about being in the world of idiocracy at this point. So let's say that this is 100% up and up, and this guy is not Epstein, right? He's just someone looks just like him. He's going to get elected, most likely, to the district, whatever he wants. Why? Because he looks like this horrific monster that the boogeyman that everyone said, ran everything. Of course, he was a puppet too. Isn't that sick? That this guy's going to get elected for nobody knows his stance about on anything. But our populace is so like Gatorade plants crave kind of thinking. I'm pretty sure it is Florida. Isn't that nuts? That's just crazy to me. Just crazy. Okay. Last thing. I don't want to cover the other thing that everyone's fighting over, that reflecting pool mess. Does it have algae? Does it not have algae? Is the blue helping? Is the blue not helping? Did people go in there with box cutters like 9/11 and cut it up? Did they not? I don't know. And now I'm seeing pictures that it says it's good and it looks nice, and other people are walking around with Team Algae. But I came across this video, and this is of a Roman. What did it say? It was a. Yeah, sorry, thank you. That's the word. Roman aqueduct that they say is 2,000 years old, and look at the water that. So if the Roman aqueduct could figure it out 2,000 years, why can't we do it with this pool? I don't know. Isn't that something? I'd buy that for $1. All right. Let's get rid of that. Delete. Okay. Now we're back here. Oh, there he is. Now he's saying we're doomed. All right. Okay, what's next? What's that? Who told me? Oh. Okay. All right, let's go into here. What do we have? Oops, wrong one. This button. Okay, what is this? Oh, this was sent to me by Sean. If you're watching, I thought this is worthy of definitely showcasing. This is a hippie jam band show. And oh, thank you. Look at Jeannie. Alec gifted 5 more memberships. You guys and gals, you're all wonderful. I have such a lovely audience. So thank you for that. Where was I? Oh, yeah. So it's a hippie band jam show. And they have they have this at everything now, the ASL people. And I don't know, I can't make that any larger, so we'll just leave it the way it is. I'll put me down there. But so they're just jamming, and it's kind of like one of those Grateful Dead shows that just keeps on going. And they're not singing, so they have nothing to do. There's no words. It's nighttime. Easiest gig ever. What's that? Yeah, they're just dancing. They get paid. All they did is just dance the whole night because there's no words in any of this. So I thought that was really funny. All right. Let's take that off of here. Clickety click. Okay. Let's see. Oh, that's funny. Where is that? An algae problem in the swamp. That's funny. I like it. Okay. Let's see. And you're tardy too, but I think we just hit you with the last tardy. And I see donut in here. Let's see. And let's move on down the road here. Still better than David Lee Roth. You're funny. All right. Enough of that. Where are we at here? Let's go back to the comments. She is. Joy is funny. All right. Really? Okay. Now this one I loved, but we'll show it first. So I loved it, and I was like, this is really funny. And then I looked into it, and what's interesting is of course, I run it by Grok. I'm like, is this real or is this AI? And first Grok says, oh, it's AI. And then I did it a second time later in the day, and Grok's like, oh, no, this is real. So I'm like, I thought it might be AI. It's still funny. But I think I figured it out that it is most likely because I watched the numbers here, and they don't move like a normal clock. So 41, then 42, then 41, then 40, 48, 40. See there, it's all over the place. So I'm going to say I think it's AI, but still was funny. Okay. But I try not to do those if they are definite, unless it's something like Trump singing or doing something. So yeah, let's go into here. I've got a few others here. Let's get rid of this. Let's see. This. If you're old enough to remember bath time, at least for my generation, kind of went like this. I don't know why it was so violent. Like they were tired and they wanted to get it over or something. The towel. Where's down the towel? So I don't know, but I have memories like this, PTSD maybe. So okay, let's see. So we got rid of that one. We did that. Let's see. I had another one here. I wanted to show you all. Let's see. Go with. I've covered that one. Okay, we already did that one. What is this? Christopher. Oh, okay. We'll show that one in a minute here. Oh, this was interesting. You know, I told you my wife and I, we watch these mystery shows, and I always make the joke whenever they go down to a basement or whenever they go into a parking garage, it's not good. Like bad things happen. So we always say never go to those two places. But there's a third one. There's one that's if you see wildlife on the road, you can admire it.
Oh my gosh!
That's fine. But when you see a family of skunks, including baby skunks, the last thing you want to do is make a bad judgment call and get one. Now, first off, what's that? Well, first off, the mom skunk's right there, and I'm shocked he didn't get nailed. Look, there she is right there, and he's taking a baby.
Oh my gosh!
So, after we've seen this, what do you guys see? You think anything could possibly go wrong?
It's a baby skunk!
Oh! Got it right.
So he turned it upside down to face his face. So he got it right in the mouth.
Roll the window down.
Roll the window.
Roll the window down. Oh my gosh.
Oh my god, Kyle! Why would you do that?
I didn't think it'd spray as a baby.
He didn't think it would spray because it's a baby. She says she's gonna throw up. I got to tell you all that there's a story. My dad was honestly, I feel, the best storyteller, and God bless him, when he was in college, he was struggling in his biology class, and back in those days, I don't know what the animals were, but you know they would dissect real animals. You know, like I think in my high school, it's just terrible thing. Well, the frog, of course. But in any case, so my dad could earn extra credit. He lived in Arizona if he could trap whatever these little creatures were that they'd use, and so he had a trap that he had set up, and so he could, you know, bring something to the school, and he went to the trap, and there was a skunk in it. And so he went back to his teacher and his professor, and he's like, "What do I do?" He said, "I put the trap out and I got a skunk." And he told my dad, "You need to shoot it." I mean, it's like, "I'm not going to shoot it. It didn't do anything wrong. I'm not going to kill it." He's like, "Well, there's no other way." And so my dad goes back and he takes a big tarp with him and he throws it over the cage. And he's feeling really proud of himself because now the skunk can't see it. Because every time he'd walk, the skunk would turn getting ready to shoot, you know? And so now the skunk can't see him. So he had some stick or something that he was using to open this cage to allow the skunk to get out and hopefully not get sprayed. And just as he was lifting it up to where the skunk could, you know, get out, the tarp slipped away and it saw him and full on blasted him. At that point, he wished he had shot it. So he had to go home, and my grandmother, his mom, she made him strip outside and sit in a pool of like tomato juice, and I don't know, when they threw out his clothes, and it's just nasty. If you've ever smelled one driving, you know, you'll know. But I can't believe that guy took it in the face. So there you go. God bless you, Dad. So there's my dad's story there. Okay, what's next? We'll go here. And this just because I felt everyone needed to hear this, and I think it's. I think it's Taiwanese. I should double check on the clip. But if you didn't recognize this song, because I don't get a copyright from this, it's Addicted to Love. I just think it's funny that they copied everything, to the woman, to the guy singing, and yeah, they copied it exactly, I feel. Isn't that great? Yeah, you can hear it. Yeah, isn't that great? So yeah. Robert Palmer, wasn't that something? Yeah. And for me, I feel that's a Mandela effect, because I remember those gals in white dresses, and I think they're all in black dresses now. Oh, you needed that? Michigan has skunk plants, so that's terrible. No, thank you. Oh, of course, a husky got sprayed. Jeannie, her husky got sprayed. Let's see. Where are we at? We good? Okay, I think I got mostly. Oh, did Groot just show up? Hi, Groot. All right. You do know that means you're tardy, Groot, right? One more for the late people.
I don't feel tardy.
So there we go. All right. And let's see what's next. Oh, there's a new. Where is it? Do I have it in these tabs? Let me look. No, but that new Superman movie came out, or whatever, Supergirl. And hey, hon, where was that picture? The assembling of the team. Do you remember where that is? I gotta find that. Oh, see, you're awesome. Niche. Where is it? I think it was a post. Yeah, here it is. We watch this guy. I find him fun to watch. And let's see. Let's remove that one. Clickety click. I'll go here. This guy, Levi Nix, he said, I'm assembling a team. You got the gal from Last of Us. You got Millie Alcock. That's her name. And then you got Snow White. That's an actual still. These have not been changed or enhanced. And then, of course, the beautiful redheaded MJ from Spider-Man. So I like his team assembly. But what do you call it? That movie came out, Supergirl, and it's tanking, of course, because they always do this. And the star, now who's going to a comic book movie, especially one that's supposed to have a chick in it and a short skirt and Supergirl, whatever? It's men, it's guys, that's your core audience. Girls aren't usually into comic book movies as much as men are, whatever, boys, whatever. Male and female. Males are usually into comic book movies way more than females. So then you have your female star saying things like they don't need a man, and thank God the men didn't save him, and this, that, and the other. Like Snow White, she was so happy that the prince doesn't save her and stuff. And so once again, them mouthing off. Plus, apparently, it's not a good movie. The thing's tanking, just absolutely tanking. As far as it'll be another huge loss, most likely. Like, I don't know if it's in the Snow White realm, but it's getting close, apparently. And to make things worse, they came out with this collectible cup. I showed it last week. And it's supposed to be the Supergirl's shirt logo. And then she wears a hoodie, I guess, throughout most of the movie. And it's supposed to be her hoodie coat around this cup. And it looks very odd. It's weird, kind of, I'd say, flesh color. And of course, I wasn't the only one questioning it. The what is that girl questioned it.
What is that? What is that?
Satellite tracking continues.
What is it? It's supposed to be a coat. It's supposed to be a coat. I don't know, Groot. It's supposed to be a coat. So, yeah. You like it. I can't see me dropping her anytime soon. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't understand. Yeah, whatever it is, it's gross. Geez. Yeah, a flesh coat is so gross. I don't know what's going on with these people. It's nuts. So, all right, well, definitely we're retiring this one, but we got to see it one more time.
What is that? What is that?
Satellite tracking continues.
Shoot. I was cracking up. My wife's down there just going, what is this? She sounded just like the girl. Oh man, that's too much. Okay. Where should we go from here? That deserves a tiger. Somebody asked what are we doing here? That's the only show you'll ever see a vomiting tiger that I know of on YouTube.
Now, who can argue with that? Robert!
Somebody wants to know if the cup shrinks when you add ice. The water's cold. Oh, I'm glad that you were able to. I got the tiger. I could have done the tiger with the girl. You know, we do have that option available if you're interested. So I just kind of, for me, I sort of like the tiger on by itself, you know, more, I don't know what you'd call that. Traditionalist. How about that? But, and I was looking for it, though. I can't find it. So maybe I don't have that one anymore. Oh, well, things change. Life moves on. Let's see. Oh, asking you shall receive. Look at that.
What is that? What is
Satellite
that?
tracking continues.
It just works with so many things. It's so fantastic. Okay, what's next? Oh, one more Quiznos.
We love these songs!
What is that? What is that?
Satellite tracking continues.
And her just expression at the end, too, is just classic. They have a pepper bar. imagine that was an actual commercial? Oh, jeez. Okay. Let's see. What do we have left? We'll go into here. And what else do we have here? Oh, whoops. That was the wrong button. I want this button. I want this one and this one. Let's see. Go in here again. So did that. We did that. We got that. We got the bath. And this one is for me, I don't really go into these feel good stories so much, but this one really got to me.
Yes, sir.
You getting up early? Huh?
Yes, sir. You like the onion, yes? Onion?
Yeah. All right.
Onion.
He's making this guy his food, and the guy is stealing the tips. Well, Ceiling Fan Man, that's not a feel-good story. Well, hold on. Wait for it. See, it says wait for it, although I hate when it says wait for it. I never wait for it.
Yeah.
How much is it so I know what to put in?
Sorry?
How much is it?
Second cheese is $10.
10?
Yeah.
All right, give me a second. Let me run my car. I'm about to say I want extra everything.
Okay, sir. Okay. Hi, ma'am. How are you?
Hi.
How many you want?
A little while ago,
Hold on. Hold the music. Sorry, ma'am.
a young man came to your stand and took
yeah.
tip jar. I'm his mother.
Oh.
How much did he take from you?
Like something I couldn't pay attention. Like Timothy took.
What do you think he took from you?
I see the first. I couldn't see the second. Is
How much do you think he took from you?
about $30. I think. But you don't need to pay.
No, I'm going to pay it because my son wasn't raised like that.
Why he is doing that? I don't want to ask, but
No. Listen to me. My son wasn't raised like that. My son drinks, and when he drinks, he does stupid stuff. I want to pay you back because you don't deserve to be stolen from. You're here to do a service. I appreciate it. He took it from your tip jar. $30 go back to your tip jar.
yeah, come here.
Of course.
Come here, guys. Look,
Yeah.
you're my mom too. You know.
Yes. I
Yeah.
want you to be okay.
Isn't that great? See? That's an amazing story. I love it. Yes. Well done, Mom. Well done. Yeah. So, there's still a lot of hope in this world. There's still a lot of people that believe in doing the right thing. And so yeah. That's the glory of God. Amen. Yeah, you're right. But hopefully she gave him a decent lecture when she got home. So, but it's just amazing that she did that. And he was so gracious too, because he's like, I don't need it. You don't have to give it to me, but she did anyway. So, okay. I just thought that was a real touching one, and I thought I would share that with you all. Okay. Let's see. What do we have left? Covered that. We got that. Got that one. That goes with the lies of the world. I thought this was interesting. Now, I'm not
warning about
not into all these channels. I call them fear porn, but I thought this was an interesting take on it. Because you talk about the mark of the beast. Everyone's waiting for a chip to be implanted and stuff. But this guy's take on it, whoever this, it's an AI voice, but it's someone put it together, hopefully. And anyways, just listen to his idea. I thought was interesting. And you probably heard it before, but I just thought this was a good little
chip for decades. Turns out it's not a chip, it's your face. What do you mean? Look at what's happening. 27 EU countries. Digital ID by December 2026. India, 1.3 billion people. China, facial recognition system launched. Mexico, signed into law. They all use the same word, voluntary.
If it's voluntary, what happens when you refuse?
Denmark, no banking. Senegal, no phone, no electricity, no water. India, 446 million scans in 1 month. They call it voluntary, while making it impossible to function without it. That's not choice, that's coercion.
The prophecy was right?
Revelation 13:16. Mark on right hand or forehead. Fingerprint and face scans. 81 countries. No implant needed. Your phone's already in your hand.
So what do you think of that? That's interesting. Right? And the flock cameras are showing up everywhere. I don't know. And this isn't a channel. Yeah, I do have scary space news coming up. We do that. We can do that now. But this isn't a channel where I want you to be afraid of these things. This is a channel that just letting you know. And there's a passage where it says that, you know, they attempt to do these things, and at some point God shuts it down. So how far down this rabbit hole will we go? I don't know. Nobody does. But people only cry out for God's help when they're in trouble. And so if it just stayed the same and everything was great, then you know, you're not going to have people that are going to turn their face back to God. And so sometimes they need to be shaken up. And so whatever we're supposed to be going through, just like we talked about last week, remember that God's in charge. He can use bad things for good, to work out good in your life. And so we're not supposed to be fearful of these things. But I like to make people aware of what they do want to do to us, because they're reading the same book. They're using it as like a playbook. And they do want to do these things to us. So just be aware of it. But just know that if you've made your connection to God, and if you haven't, you can do it tonight. It's real simple. That God wins in the end of everything. Jesus has overcome the world and everything in it, and heaven and earth. So I think it's written in the Bible more than anything. Be not afraid. And so just know that these things are coming. But I thought that was an interesting take on it. Let's see. And I had another thing here. What was that? We got the skunk, old buildings. Oh, okay. Let's kick out there's not much. We'll kick out the scary space news.
This week in scary space news.
All right. What is this?
Can you see the camera?
That's not it. They switched on me. Here's one. Okay. I don't know what that one was. I'll have to come back to that one. After a grueling 7-year journey across the solar system, the Cassini spacecraft finally slipped into orbit around Saturn in 2004. And here's the actual video of it, supposedly, allegedly. It looks just like a 1950s movie, you know, where the alien comes out. Was it Alien Vampires from Space? Something like that. Zombie Vampires from Space. Was that supposed to be the worst movie ever? Was it Ed Wood? Something like that. So there you go. Actual footage. You can't argue with that. Who can argue with that? What's next? And then this one, a major explosion occurred at Herd Big Bend volcano near Antarctica. The explosion created a generated column of ash 10 chems high, and an alert has been issued. So there's that going on, whatever that means. Do you know if you go on Google Earth and they have that little thing which you can like put the yardstick around a continent, and it'll tell you the total surface area. Do you know you can't do that with Antarctica? You can try it, but you can't do it. Yeah, you can't do it. And of course, the North Pole doesn't exist anymore. It's just water and ice. So I don't know where the hell Santa lives anymore. All right. So let's see. Let me go back to this other one, see what it was. Because it definitely wasn't that. I guess we lost that tab. It happens. It was definitely about space. What it was exactly, we'll never know. All right. enough of that nonsense. Let me go over here. Close that. And let's see. Google. Let's see if we can do this. Hold on. Clickety click. Let's see. Where's that thing? All right. I don't know. We'll see if we can get this. Let's try. Clickety click. Is my internet great since they fixed it? I'm so happy. Because of a mouse. See, watch. I got to add the point. Okay. Oops. See, I was afraid of doing this live. Let's see. Oh, there we go. So go here. Here. I really don't do this a lot, so I'm not sure if I'm doing this right. But no, it's just going to work, right, Jeannie? Do you go straight this way, I guess? See? Look, it didn't work, though. It's like it broke open. What's going on here? Is that just because the land goes in? I don't know. Well, I shouldn't do these things live, but let's see. Let's try G'day. Let's try Australia. See if this works. No one is this one. Let's see if it does the same thing. And if not, then I'm done with this exercise. I should. You want to sing? No. Elon. See, look. Did you see that one? I was right. See, it didn't break. The other one, it didn't connect all the way. Anyways. Yeah, 16 outfield. I shouldn't do these things live. You're right. You're doomed, I'm telling you. We're all doomed. All right. Where are we at here? Oh, I know. We haven't got to the actual main part of the show, and it's almost over, huh? The part where I talk about the pack of lies.
It's all been a pack of lies.
All right. So let's see. Are my tabs still working? Okay, we got that one. And let's see. We've got the old world buildings. We've got insane asylums. We got uranium. We've got dragons. And what else do we have? That's plenty about lies of the world. They've lied to us about it since we were little. And that's the thing. You say, well, why would they lie? Because they don't want you to know exactly who you really are. The fact that they have to do so many things to us, water, air, food, all these different vibrations, all these different things they have to do to us. It shows you how amazing, incredible we each are. And they really have to damper us down, put rubber on your feet so you don't connect to the earth, all kinds of stuff. So first off, we had this.
It's fiction. We made it up.
I do enjoy when they have these compilations, but so this is if you've awakened to the lies of the world, helping your kid with the history homework.
Fiction. It's fiction. We made it up. It's a made-up tale. It's a total fabrication. It never happened. It never happened. This one was invented by a writer.
Anyways. So let's start with the Grand Canyon one is an interesting one. Let's see, clickety click. Let's see, remove that one. And we'll put this one on there. I just had it. Where'd it go? Oh, it's one of these tabs. That's why. Clickety click. There.
Grand Canyon is 277 miles in length.
And again, if I show a video, it's because I like that specific video. I'm not advocating any channels. I think this guy is Lunch Break, and he has some interesting compilations of things that I and others have talked about for years, but he has, puts it together in some succinct videos. And this, I think, it sounds like his voice. And so that's all I'm saying. This video, I thought was interesting. That's it.
Over 1.2 million acres, with 94% of it being designated as federal wilderness, meaning that no roads, no development, limited access, and strict permit control. To 94% of the 1.2 million acres of the Grand Canyon is off limits to the public. Not only this, but there are thousands of documented caves in the Grand Canyon, thousands, with over 95% of them being closed to the public. Closed to the public by the National Park Service. Yet another publicly funded service. So what we're reading today is that the public is literally paying to block themselves off from thousands of caves at the Grand Canyon. The public's funding these groups that do not have the public's best interests in mind. How much money do the National Park Service get per year? They receive around $3.5 to $4 billion from the public every single year. And thanks to all these incredible laws, including the one from 1988, explicitly allowing the National Park Service to close all the caves, we now can't do anything about it. All the public can do at this point is say change these laws and hope that they do. The fact that they set these laws up to block all of us off from the true history, to what's really going on at the Grand Canyon, that is the clear giveaway that the history that we're all told is a total lie. It's nonsense. And every 4 years, somebody new will go in there and everybody gets in line to vote them in. These people, it doesn't matter which side, nobody's changing this. They're only making it harder since 1846 for the public to see these records, for the public to gain any access. We all know that both sides since 1846 have had a chance at doing this. Nobody's changing it in a positive way. They've created law after law after law to block you out. Now let's take a minute and thank Donkeys Incorporated. I have no idea how you guys are able to climb 1,500 feet up in the air and carve out hundreds of rooms, thousands of caves at the Grand Canyon. I didn't know you guys were good friends with the Giants. I don't believe it was hard.
And I used to get in trouble all the time. I ran with the Flat Earth group for a while, and they believed, at least the core of them, believed that there weren't giants that helped build these things, and that large horses and pulley systems could build these monstrous churches and stuff with the spires and stuff, and the concrete marble pillars that are like just insanely, it's crazy. And they used to think that like horses and donkeys would do that. And we didn't always see eye to eye, obviously, because that's just a bunch of hooey. It just really is. The history of these buildings we've been lied to about since inception. I mean, when you look at here, where is it? Is it this one? Yeah, this, no, wait, we're gonna come back to that one. Where'd it go? I guess it has to be this one. So, is it this one? I mean, yeah, but just look at these buildings. And we're told that, and why are you building such massive buildings when there's really no people? There's no populace in here. I mean, what was this on a Sunday and everyone was at church or something? You've got this monstrous building and we expect that horses help put these things together. It's craziness when you start looking at it with new eyes. The eyes of a child is what God says you have to come with these things. Why would they build these streets like this? For how many people? And you only see like here you got, I mean, this maybe is even a drawing, but there's just a couple people there. Look at that, just a few random people. And a lot of these places, the roads aren't even finished, and the buildings are. Now look at that. What's the purpose of that? Because they had the material and extra time on their hands. This is supposedly a society that didn't have all the modern conveniences that we have today. So why were they spending so much time just building these, works of art like this? I mean, how long did that take to carve out, supposedly? And the buildings already look weathered. That's why we talk about how there was also some kind of cataclysmic event, and some of them got melted and others just kind of got weathered and scorched. But why are you building these things for just a small amount of people? Look at these. And they're the same all over the world. It doesn't matter where, what country or what city. They all have the same kind of dome and spires and things like that. Look at these. Look at these statues. Here you've got a few more people walking around, but the roads are still dirt at this point. What was the point of building that statue? There's a perfect example of one that had got melted, but not all the way. Because whatever happened in Revelation that I believe happened in the 70 AD, whatever, Nero years, we don't know how God melted things like wax. Did the heat come from the bottom or the top or both? Was it electrical? I mean, there's so many theories, but none of us know. But something did happen, because you don't build this on top of this. How would you even get up there? You're telling me, what did you use, mountain goats? Oh, no, you had the giant horses with the pulleys, I guess, right? I mean, a horse down here is going to be this size. How are you building this thing way up here? No, it doesn't make sense. What does make sense, that this whole thing was some type of structure and it started melting and then stopped, and now we just have this on top. That makes more sense to me. But can I prove my side? No, but neither can they. Their stories are ridiculous. Again, why are you building these monstrous things in a time like the Golden Arch, like Trump's building? Look at the size of this. There's like humans down here, or people, humans. Look at the size of that column. And this one was buried. This is a famous picture. This column, it's from one of the churches, I believe, that Paul talks about. And why would he write to the churches if they no longer exist anymore? You're going to tell me, oh, well, you pretend that Greece is this one and Rome is that one. And no, it's not written there. He's talking to specific people in a specific place, and he's saying destruction is coming, repent. And they did or didn't, and destruction came. And this proves that something major happened, cataclysmic worldwide, that buried this. You wouldn't build this and then cover it up or forget. There's cities that they found like they forgot. We're just seeing the top. We actually don't know where ground level is anymore, because nobody builds half windows. These buildings, and I was in one of them in Seattle, they go down several more floors than you see from street level, like this. So, what civilization built this? And then what civilization built that? And why was this all buried? They don't tell you these things. They don't explain these stories in regular history class. They won't dare touch it. They'll show you dinosaur bones in the museums that actually are fake. They're replicas. And then they'll tell you that giants never existed, even though people are finding giant bones, and then usually they mysteriously disappear. Why are you building these things? Look at this. And why would they do that? Because the story of giants takes away evolution and that nonsense, and it takes it into a biblical state. And they don't want you to know that. Just like they don't want you to know about dragons. You've got this. This is allegedly a petrified dragon found in Romania.
Dragon found in Romania.
The music will get a copyright probably. Look at that. Look at that face in there. Is it? I don't know. Sure looks like a dragon. All right. So you got that one. Then you've got this. That could easily be a dragon if they actually did find one of these skeletons like this, because it makes way more sense that these are part of the wings maybe than these little arms. This animal makes no sense. And the fact that we know what it sounds like and its skin color and all that, it's all made up. None of that's real. They know that they had feathers on certain ones and skin on the other ones. And evolution tells me that some dinosaurs, we talked about it last week, the ones that could fly, they survived the giant asteroid that supposedly killed all the dinosaurs, but somehow they miraculously made it out and they evolved into chickens. None of that evolution stuff makes any sense, because for an animal to fly, these bones and stuff are hollow and they have specific things that make. You're telling me that like slowly over time, some kind of creatures started growing wings and eventually hollowed out and could fly? Makes no sense. The thing that makes less sense in evolution that no one seems to talk about except me is the fact that there were creatures living in the water. You should watch the South Park on it. It's really funny. There's some curse words and I want to get a strike on it, but go look at it. It's South Park Evolution. It explains it. But there are creatures that came out of the water, the thing they've only known, their only source of food and everything. And somehow they lost their fins and tails and they got legs and they became animals on land. And some of them became mammals. And then all of a sudden, a couple of those mammals went, you know what? This sucks. I want to go home. And they turn around and they go back into the water and become whales and dolphins. I'm not making that up. You can look it up yourselves. And that's what we're supposed to believe, but not dragons. Even though that's it.
The fact that this was discovered hiding under a painting during a renovation of a cathedral in Naples says it all. Another sloppy cover-up.
I don't know about the music, so make sure we don't do that. But yeah, they found this defeating a dragon behind this other painting. Let's see.
Job they just ended up calling them mythical creatures. But isn't it odd, the Chinese zodiac has all real creatures but one.
Yeah, and I've talked about that many times. So you go with this, you've got all of these, pause, picture go stop. You got all these real animals and then the dragon. And yet, you know who's not on here? Panda. Panda's kind of sus. They didn't discover him until like 100 years later or something ridiculous. Why isn't he on this Wheel of Fortune? No, we're going to not have the panda, and we're going to have a dragon, which is a mythical creature. I think pandas are sus.
Is my parents' dog moonlighting as a panda?
I love that drop. Okay. Do we finish out that dragon thing? Let's see. Yeah, they just have more pictures of dragons throughout history. Oh, they did have something at the end here too. Let me get that again. Clickety click. This one.
Few generations to completely erase our knowledge of our true history. And sloppy as it may be, they have succeeded in doing that. Question everything, friends.
Oh, wait.
Now find some of those melted castles. And just look what our old dictionary said about dragons. Now rare.
It doesn't say imaginary. It says rare.
And even a news story from England.
And there's a news story about a dragon.
This was just a few short generations ago. As they say, it only takes a few generations to completely erase our knowledge of our true history.
So I thought that was really interesting. And then this one was, you can check this one on YouTube. It's the Tartaria Vault. This was sent to me by my son, and I've discussed this before, but I thought I'm not going to play this whole video, but it's an interesting video because what they discuss is we were talking about frequencies and how they can affect you in a negative way. There's been many talks about how frequencies can affect you in a positive way. Play his music on this one. There it goes. And so, amongst all these,
was this the point?
Monstrous buildings,
based quietly, systematically, and almost universally across dozens of countries simultaneously. The official explanation says this was progress, the era called nervous disorders. The bells were rung near these patients at specific times in specific patterns, and the administrator noted matter-of-factly that this practice had produced results that the newer chemical treatments had not.
So the bells frequencies were actually helping heal people, allegedly.
Waking each morning to the sound of bells and noting that her recovery from a condition her physician had called incurable.
And look at this hospital. Look at the size of the people, the humans. And look at the size of these. Like, why do you need these giant arches? Who's going through these buildings? And who put these up there? What horse or donkey you got that built these things? Look how far up that is in these bells. And so the crux of this thing is there used to be bells everywhere. And they removed them.
Most were melted. A few were preserved in museums, stripped of their original context, labeled simply as church bells or civic bells, with no explanation of where they had hung or what function they had served. The second wave came during the World Wars, both of them. In World War I, across Britain, France, Belgium, the United States, and beyond, citizens were encouraged, sometimes legally compelled, to surrender metal objects to the war effort.
What's the Liberty Bell, right? That we're all so impressed that has the crack in it and stuff. I mean, these things did something. It's obvious. Look at the graveyard of bells. And they took them all away. And I've discussed this before. If you take a church and you look at like the organ that it has and the sound waves that it generates, and then you have all that stained glass window. What if there was some kind of power source generated from inside, and then that would shine outside the windows, like in the sky, and you could see that, and there were healing centers, and they'd play music and ring bells. I mean, if we are electrical beings, we know that these frequencies do affect it. They got that whole thing about our music and how they went from, what is it? It's now to 432 hertz. Isn't that something? And there's a, what? Hey, hon, what are the music ones? 440. That's right. Now it's at 440. So someone help me. Aaron did. Thank you. But yeah, isn't that something? So I found that interesting that, that this technology that we think we're the most advanced, and yet they had these healing centers with the bells. And look at this stuff. Who builds this? And a lot of this stuff, if this for the World's Fair, was a quote temporary basis, and all these buildings lit up, and yet you see no light bulbs. And if there were light bulbs, who's changing them? Where did they store the light bulbs? Because you must have needed a gazillion, that's a real number, light bulbs to do all this. But no, none of the history actually makes sense. And if you dare question it, they marginalize you, they ridicule you, and they put you on the end of the internet where, maybe there's a few hundred people watching or a few thousand, but that's it. And the majority of the world still, surmises that these things were built by, by hand for no reason whatsoever other than they had the time and the resources, which makes no sense. All right. What else do we have here? And then this guy, when I first saw this one, this guy's famous for one thing. He was a nuclear scientist or whatever. He knows everything about radiation and all that stuff. And he was in
You don't disperse radioactivity.
and he brought out
Do I qualify as a controlled drain?
and he ate it. And he even shows that he's radioactive. Okay, and the first time I saw this, I'm like, okay, this guy's crazy. I was also concerned about the whole classroom there, that he exposed them to something. He did it again.
Fire. Black?
Oh, I know. He does it more than once. So I looked into him. The guy, whatever you want to say about him, he died at the age of like 82 of some unknown, they didn't say. But so, like we discussed before in this show, when we did that whole thing, we did the whole thing on nuclear weapons and war and stuff, and I still have, you can look that up on my channel about atomic bombs. And so once again, they make you afraid with all the movies and stuff too, with the Geiger counters and all that. But they say now that because they keep changing their lies, they say that the radiation cloud disperses right away, right after the bomb. Whereas we were told it goes on for decades and nothing can live there. And yet places like Chernobyl have life, and these other places that have had, people have always been living in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. So their lies don't make sense anymore now that more and more people are awake to it. So now they say, the radiation disperses right away. But also right after Hiroshima and Nagasaki, they had mandatory injections to keep people from having diseases. And then they all came down with interesting things. Or it was radiation poisoning. You tell me. Did we cover this dragon one? I think we did.
And slapping the
Yeah, that's the one we did. Okay. So we're good there. What's this one? We'll cover that in a second. All right. So kill that. And let's see. I think I had another video that connected to this. Yeah, this one was interesting.
Jews have to get out. Ferdinand and Isabella gave Jews until July 31st, 1492, to flee their kingdom. Just 3 days later, Christopher Columbus set sail on his fateful voyage.
So when and what's interesting too is out here in Washington, we denounce this whole thing because there's a huge population of Native Americans here, and they call it Indigenous People Day. And so, but I've always said, this has always bugged me as a kid, because you got Columbus, he sets sail, he calls them Indians because he thinks he went to India. So he's a horrible captain, pilot, whatever, because he didn't even go where he was supposed to, right? Yeah, I know. He's a fake character, but we got to go with what we got, right? It is made up his story. Exactly. The lies, it's lies.
It's all been a pack of lies.
Yes, fake actors on a BS stage. So, yeah, but anyways, here we go. Let's see.
Think in terms of 1492. We're taught it's Columbus sailing the ocean blue. But even Christopher Columbus, when he's leaving, there are vessels of all sizes filled with Jews who are being expelled from now Catholic Christian Spain.
The reason I'm playing this is it's so Christopher Columbus, he crashed the St. Mary on Christmas. So the water broke in, the ship was destroyed and later stripped and resurrected as a fort called La Navidad, which is Christmas. Isn't that interesting? I thought that was interesting. Yeah, it's like the Truman Show. Oh, we can't do the music. What am I thinking? Well, if they strike me on that, I'll have to remove the music. We'll lose the chat, but it'll still be here. But yeah, it's a metaphor for the story of Jesus. I thought that was interesting. We can't prove that. Oh, and then this. 2024 DNA research by Spanish scientists suggests that Christopher Columbus may have been a Sephardic Jew from Western Europe, likely Spain, who had hidden in his origins to avoid persecution. So yeah, this is interesting, right? It's being debated. So got that going. And dang, I hope that music doesn't get it. We'll see. It happens. Video file, we got those. And then
Cathedral, the Notre Dame Cathedral.
Oh, these are just more buildings. We don't have to go through all these, but come on. Why are we building? Look at this. Look at the structures. Look at that. And since these windows look like they continue on, how far down does this building actually go? Right? There's tunnels and stuff throughout the entire world. Anyways, you can go through another. This looks like another lunch break thing, but he does have some interesting conglomeration videos. All right, we don't need to cover that. We kind of covered that already, but I do have one other one, and that was, let's see.
What if the insane asylums from the 1800s weren't built for insane people at all? Think about it. People always say, if there was a reset, wouldn't everyone have known? But what if the people who did know were labeled insane? In the 1800s, all across America and Canada, massive insane asylums started appearing. Huge buildings, massive stone structures, some of the biggest buildings in the entire country at the time. But here's the strange part. Many of these cities were just being founded. So where did all of these insane people come from? And how did they know there would be so many of them that they built entire castle-like complexes to hold them? Look at the Central Lunatic Asylum in Ohio. It looks more like a fortress than a hospital. Look at the Columbia State Hospital. At one point, it was the largest building in the United States. And then there's St. Vincent Hospital in St. Louis. They say it was built in 1 year. 1 year in the 1800s. With that architecture. So you have to ask yourself, were these buildings really made to treat the insane? Or were they made to silence people who remembered a world that no longer existed?
Right? Where is he?
Now, who can argue with that? Reverend!
Right? So, yeah. All right. Let's go back down to the bottom here. Where we're at. Do you think he says rabbit? I hear Reverend. Jeannie hears rhetoric, and you hear rabbit. Jeannie hears rabbit.
Now, who can argue with that? Reverend!
All right. Oh, I did want to mention something because someone, and thank you. I have people that write me emails and snail mails, and I love it all. So if there's something you want me to talk about or something I said and you want a question or whatever, my email is ceilingfanman2020@gmail.com. So just go ahead and write me there. But I wanted to clarify a few things. One is because I do get things in snail mail too. But I showed a video. It was an older video that I made something with garlic, and we had this horrible garlic press. And just so this is only for two people, the ones that are watching, we were sent this. It's an invisible garlic press. It's Wonder Woman's garlic. No, we were sent this, and I can't show it to you, but I love this thing. And so I didn't stop using it. So I just wanted to thank you for that. And see, like someone, you couldn't see it. I know. That's pretty cool. Look at this. The Warren Report, and this person sent a bunch of like life magazine things, which are cool old stories. So we'll go through that. There's a lot of interesting things to look at there. So thank you for that. Of course, I absolutely love my Sarah hat. I usually wear my wife's one too because it's really cool. It's gold color, and so we got that. And then I wanted to thank someone sent me this, and it's for superheroes, and that's how he saved the world. So there's that. I just wanted to make sure that I am thanking the right people when they send me things, so I appreciate it. Okay, and let's see, we got that. Did we cover them all? Let me look and make sure. I don't want to leave anything out that we're going to show tonight. We covered that. We got the asylum, we got the skunk, we got it all. Yeah. All right. So other than that, I think And I kind of rushed through the pack of lies, but it's so easy to discuss that stuff. I mean, just take 5 minutes and start looking at these old buildings, and they don't make any sense in the narrative that we're told. And then look into all the great fires. There was fires that melted cement and marble and all that stuff. Happen all over the world, supposedly. Sometimes a monkey kicks something over, or a cow, or someone flicks a cigarette somewhere. But so none of these stories, they're all lies.
It's all been a pack of lies.
So what do we do with that? Well, here's what you do. You realize that you've been lied to, and you can go through the stages of grief and all that and figure it out, and anger and frustration, and then get to this stage that I'm at and that my wife's at, and that we know that we're being lied to, but we also know that there is truth in this world still at this moment. Even if, as I believe, revelation happened, that means that the Spirit of God is here with us. And even though we're at the very end of the book, as I believe, because that would mean that we're in the little season.
Pizza.
But that means that there's going to be a crescendo, an ending to the book, and God wins and we go with him. And so all you have to do is just make that connection. You can do it tonight. Just find a quiet place, close the door, shut the light off. Don't take your phone in there, sitting there in a little bit of peace, and then talk to him. Ask him, is he real? But from your heart, because he reads your heart first. And you'll be very surprised. I would be surprised if you didn't get the proper response, because God says he's at the door knocked. He's just waiting for you to open the door and answer. And so what we're supposed to, I feel, take away from this is know that the times that we're in, the Mandela effect shows you that it's a supernatural battle, and all the lies of the world shows you that, there is a truth underlying all of this. And the reason that and I'm not any religious affiliation, but the closest one is, you'd say, Christian. And the reason that faith is attacked is because there's truth in it and it has weight to it. Jesus is real. Unlike Netanyahu says, no, he has overcome everything. And he is our conduit through the Holy Spirit to God. And he came down and saved our souls by dying for our sins. And so all you have to do is talk to him and confess your sins to him and do better, right? It's like he even said on the cross, don't, forgive them if they don't know what they do. If you don't know what you were doing, you were deceived. God gives you a pass, sort of. But then he says, what is, like the lady that gets stoned, and not in a good way? He tells her that the accusers have left and she's not going to die. And he says, go away, but sin no more. So he's like, learn from this moment and continue on this way. And so as we go through this journey that we know most likely could end up getting rockier, the closer we get to being in a righteous position, the more of what they call the armor of God comes around you. And you start seeing, not that God isn't laying blessings out, even if you're a sinner. We're all sinners. But I'm finding more and more blessings. And I'm not saying that I'm not having trouble or strife in my life. There's a lot of it going on. But God is finding a way through all of it. And it's amazing. It's incredible. And I talked about it last week. You can look at it. I specifically did something I'm not supposed to. And I asked God, well, at least I don't think you are. I asked God to answer this question that I had. And I said, treat me like some autistic kid, write it out on a tablet like you did Moses. And I told the story last week. There was a phone call I was waiting for. I didn't get it. I got the voicemail. And since we were watching something, I didn't want to play it out loud. So I hit the transcript and I read it. And it was the answer to my prayer. And it was written out, transcribed on the tablet that I was reading.
Now, who can argue with that?
Reverend.
So, God is real. He's here right now. He knows who you are. All you have to do is reach out to him. And don't get caught up in religion. This isn't about religion. I have not found a religion yet that I like 100% of what they do. And I never will. And that's okay. because you can make this connection, like I'm saying, on your own without religion. And you don't have to read the Bible. However, I highly recommend it because the stories in it I find entertaining and fascinating. They tell you the history because the world is lying to you, right? When the world talks to you. It's all been a pack of lies. But God tells you the truth, and you can find your history in there. I mean, even the Jews are reading it as the Torah. So you read your history there. You can see things that are happening right now that correlate to the Bible. And then you can look towards what he's saying is going to happen in the future. And so it's a very helpful book, but there's many people throughout the world that have found God and didn't ever have that book in front of them. And so it's helpful, but not necessary to make this connection. All you need to do is want it, because God reads your heart before he hears anything you have to say. And so if you go in it with the right heart, with the right attitude, he'll be there for you. And it's an amazing thing. Okay. All right. Well, that's 2.5 hours. I think that's good. I mean, it depends on what the fan
But
thinks.
is having this minor skill worth being so unattractive? That's for the fan to decide. Yay!
That yay kills me. All right. So I think that's good. I think we put in some time there and everyone had and enjoyed it. You needed it tonight? Oh, good. And yes, we're all grafted in, Ronald Lee. Absolutely. Amen. And what else do we need here? Let's see. I think that's good. Yay. And someone said they're sending me a shirt, and it's a saying that got stuck in their head, and I can't wait to see what it is because they didn't tell me. So I'm looking forward to that. So thank you. I appreciate you all, and thank you so much. You are all great. I love this chat. I love gathering with you all. It is a fun Friday night for me too. And so let's finish this out with a prayer and don't forget, if you enjoyed this, please hit the like button, share, and subscribe, all those things. So, dear Father, please continue to watch over us and guide us through these times. Fill our hearts with joy, protect us from all evil, bind and cast away all evil, including the devil and Satan himself. Bind it and cast it away. Cover us with the blood so that way we will have your loving protection over us and we can get through these times with no fear in our hearts. Continue to keep us with the joy of the Holy Spirit in our hearts as we wait for the other people that are still on their path on this process to find out what we're talking about. And give us the peace and the patience to wait for them. And dear Lord, I hope at the sound of my voice that you open as many eyes and ears tonight as you feel are ready. We can't wait to have more brothers and sisters in this loving body of Christ. And I thank you for the blessing that I'm allowed to do this show and to help people who are the broken, the lonely, the sad, that I can be your light in the window for at least a few hours every Friday. And it's such a blessing, and I feel very humbled that I'm allowed to do this. So thank you for that. And thank you for all these wonderful people that show up in the chat. God bless everyone that's here. And thank you, Lord, for these times. We ask this in Jesus' name. Amen. Okay. So that's it. That's what I got. Now you get this drop, of course, because the class is being, he says with a knife in his leg.
Class is dismissed.
Let's check the ceiling fan.
I guess that means the show's over. All right. Let's do this again, God willing. Same bad time, same bad channel. We'll see you all next Friday night, 6 p.m. West Coast. Check your local listings. Thank you all for being here. God bless you. Thank you for all the people that have donated and just overall, I just really love this audience, and I do feel it's a blessing that I get to do this. And let's do this again soon. Have a wonderful weekend, and we'll talk soon. Good night, everyone.
I'm the satellite.
500 years ago, everybody knew the Earth was flat.
Satellite transfer complete.